This exhibition was part of a project that's been developed by Glasgow Women's Library, Women's History Scotland, the Women's Aid and the Centre for Gender History. It's developed to explore the history of the Women's Aid movement over the last 40 years, and they did a lot of interviews with women about their experiences within the Women's Aid movement, and basically this is what the exhibition is. It's all come together here in the Museum of Edinburgh. This is the handbag that one woman took when she was fleeing from her abusive partner, and she took nothing but the handbag and her son when she left.
She travelled close to 100 miles by taxi to seek shelter with family, and it just says, I mean, that's giving me goosebumps. It's quite, to think of just leaving your home, because I'm a mother and I've got a son. If I was in an abusive situation and I had to leave just with a bag and a child, it's a very daunting feeling, isn't it?
There's various documents from sort of women's aid workers, such as appointment diaries, budgets for how much it cost, minute books and things like that as well. So there's sort of the background history to what it was like to work for Women's Aid.
Why is Women's Aid still needed in this day?
Because domestic abuse is still very much happening all over Scotland and wider. Our caseloads are constantly full. As soon as maybe one woman moves on from support, we have another woman waiting to take that place.
The hardest part for any lady that's gone through anything like this is to be able to address the fact and say that this is the situation they're in. This has always been going on. Women's Aid have been fighting this for so long, but now people are starting to listen.
A lot of these women have children and dependents. How does that come into things, Maggie? Does that make things more complicated and more fragile?
Sometimes it does, yes, because a lot of women, they don't like to move their children around, so they'll think about the kids. So can I do this? Can I go into refuge? They have to move their children about schools, so sometimes that can makes the decision a lot more tougher for the women to make.
These masks and these fans were created by women who were working with Edinburgh Women's Aid, and they took part in art workshops exploring their experiences and basically made these masks to sort of illustrate what they'd experienced through art. The exhibition downstairs is by Shakti Women's Aid, and although it's a separate exhibition that they developed themselves, it also links in because it covers a lot of the same themes about domestic abuse. Like this exhibition provides really powerful stories about what people have experienced.